For your information, there's a lot more to ogres than people think.
Example?
Example? Okay, ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No. Layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers? You get it. We both have layers.
Yeah, global citizen. I'm Ethan, your real life English fluency coach, and today we are learning with the fantastic movie Shrek, and we brought you one of the most famous scenes from that movie. Ogres are like onions.
Ogres are like onions.
Now, did you know that this statement is actually a simile? A simile is a pattern of speech where we compare two things in a figurative way. We do this using the words like or as. So to give you another example, besides ogres are like onions, we could say that the Real Life English app is like traveling to another country without leaving the comfort of your own home. So obviously with this example, you're not literally traveling to another country, and the same that Shrek is not saying that ogres literally are onions, saying they're like onions. So in today's lesson, we're not only going to be peeling back the layers of what this quote means, but we'll also be teaching you lots of grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and so much more that you're not going to want to miss out on. But first, I want to let you know that if you are new to our channel, well, every week we bring you fun lessons like this one so that you can understand fast-speaking natives without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles. So don't miss a single one of our new lessons. Hit that subscribe button and the bell down below. And now, let's learn English with Shrek.
Go for the moon. Okay, let me get this straight. You're gonna go fight a dragon and rescue a princess just so 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗃 to give you back a swamp, which you only don't have because he filled it full of freaks in the first place. Is that about right?
You know what? Maybe there's a good reason donkeys shouldn't talk.
I don't get it, Shrek. Why don't you just pull some of that ogre stuff on him? You know, throttle him, lay siege to his fortress, grind his bones to make you bread. You know the whole ogre trip.
Oh, I know what. Maybe I could have decapitated an entire village and put their heads on a pike, got a knife, cut open their spleen and drink their fluids. Does that sound good to you?
No, not really, no. Okay, let me get this straight. You're gonna go fight a dragon and rescue a princess.
Donkey uses some nice connected speech here. He tends to use the reduced form of words instead of their original form. This is when one or more words are shortened and often combined with other words. So instead of saying let me, he reduces it to lemme. Then, as often happens when a word ending in T is followed by a word ending with TH, we drop the T in get and connect it to this. Let me get this straight. Now you try. Listen again and repeat.
Okay, let me get this straight. Okay, let me get this straight. You're gonna go fight a dragon and rescue a princess.
And here, Donkey reduces going to gonna. Then the T at the end of fight is pronounced as an American T, D sound. The words then flow together to sound like you're gonna go fight a dragon. Now it's your turn.
You're gonna go fight a dragon. Okay, let me get this straight. You're gonna go fight a dragon and rescue a princess just so 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗃 to give you back a swamp, which you only don't have because he filled it full of freaks in the first place. Is that about right?
You know what?
Do you know the difference between is that right and is that about right? Is that right is a straightforward question seeking confirmation or agreement. It is typically used when you want to verify whether something is accurate or true. For example, if a friend said, I heard the party starts at 8 p.m., you could respond, is that right? Meaning you want confirmation about the accuracy of the party start time. On the other hand, is that about right suggests a slightly different intention. It acknowledges the possibility that the statement or information might not be entirely precise or exact. For example, if someone told you the distance to the beach is around 5 miles, you could respond, is that about right? Meaning you are seeking confirmation, but acknowledge that the distance might not be exactly 5 miles.
I don't get it, Shrek. Why don't you just pull some of that ogre stuff on him? You know, throttle him, lay siege to his fortress.
If you throttle someone, it means that you use your hands to choke or strangle them. Kind of how Homer does to Bart in this clip. To lay siege means to surround a place, such as a city or castle, from all sides in order to force the people there to come out or give up control of the place. Similar to this. A fortress is a building or structure designed to protect you from enemy attack. Check out this example from Game of Thrones.
Then how do you mean to take the Iron Throne? By asking nicely?
We will lay siege to the capital surrounding the city on all sides. Cersei will have the Iron Throne, but no food for her army or the people.
I don't get it, Shrek. Why don't you just pull some of that ogre stuff on him? You know, throttle him, lay siege to his fortress, grind his bones to make your bread. You know the whole ogre trip.
Oh!
In this sentence, the word trip is used informally and refers to behavior or experiences commonly associated with something. So by saying the whole ogre trip, Donkey is referring to physical strength, aggression, and anger as traits associated with an ogre. By the way, you're learning all this great new vocabulary in today's lesson, right? Well, a big frustration that I've heard from learners like you is that while you can learn all this new vocabulary and you think that it's in your head, when it's time to speak, it's nowhere to be found. You freeze up, you forget all that hard-learned vocabulary. Has this ever happened to you? Well, one thing that I have found in learning 6 different languages myself that really helps me to remember all of the new vocabulary I learned is to use it as soon as possible after I've learned it. Now, a lot of you might tell me, that's great for you, but I don't have anyone I can speak with. Well, we went ahead and solved this problem for you by creating the Real Life app. Now, the Real Life English app is the only place where anytime, anywhere, you can simply press a button, connect to another English speaker in another part of the world, discover new cultures, while also having a lot of fun practicing your English. And the best part, it is absolutely free for you to get started. So download it now by looking up Real Life English in the Apple app or Google Play Store, or you can click up here or down in the description below to learn more. We look forward to seeing you there.
Oh, I know what. Maybe I could have decapitated an entire village and put their heads on a pike. Got the knife, cut open their spleen and drink their fluids.
Here, Shrek is talking to Donkey in a sarcastic way to make fun of him. A pike is a long thrusting weapon, similar to a spear, which was used in European warfare. It is made using a long wooden shaft with a pointed metal tip, like this. Here's an example from the movie Lincoln.
If Lincoln really were a tyrant, Mr. Wood, he'd have had your empty head impaled on a pike.
I know what. Maybe I could have decapitated an entire village and put their heads on a pike. Got the knife, cut open their spleen and drink their fluids.
The spleen is an organ situated in the upper left side of the abdomen, beneath the ribcage. One important role of the spleen is that it acts as a filter of the blood, removing old, damaged, or abnormal red blood cells, as well as certain bacteria and foreign particles. Fluids are substances that can flow, such as water. In this instance, Shrek is referring to the human fluids such as blood and tears. For example, it is important to drink plenty of fluids, such as juice or tea, when you have a sore throat.
For your information, there's a lot more to ogres than people think.
Example?
Example? Okay, ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No. Layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Oh, you both have layers. Oh. You know, not everybody likes onions. Cake! Everybody loves cakes. Cakes have layers.
I don't care what everyone likes. Ogres are not like cakes.
You know what else everybody like? Parfaits. Have you ever met a person you say, hey, let's get some parfaits? They say, hell no, I don't like no parfaits. Parfaits are delicious.
No! You dense, irritating miniature beast of burden. Ogres are like onions. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later. For your information, there's a lot more to ogres than people think.
Example?
The phrase, "there's a lot more to a subject than people think," means that something or someone has qualities or characteristics that other people often do not notice. In this instance, Shrek wants Donkey to know that ogres are capable of being intelligent, kind, and sensitive. For example, There's a lot more to learning a foreign language than people think. Beyond mastering grammar rules and building vocabulary, it also involves understanding cultural nuances. All right, now it's your turn to practice by using the structure. So leave a comment down below saying something with, there's a lot more to this thing than people think. We really look forward to reading your comments. By the way, which of these is a common expression which means the same as there's a lot more to a subject than people think? There's a lot more than meets the ears. There's a lot more than meets the eye. There's a lot more than meets the brain.
I'm starting to think this school project is more than meets the eye.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No.
In this sentence, we have another nice example of reduction. Instead of saying leave them, the TH in them falls away and what we hear is leave 'em. This often happens to the pronoun them. In fact, we also do this with him, im, and her, Let's quickly practice. Repeat after me. Leave 'em. Leave him. Leave her. Continuing with donkey, T at the end of out is pronounced with an American T, so we hear out in the sun. Let's practice the full sentence together. Leave him out in the sun.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun. They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No.
Which of these uses of sprout is the same as we saw donkey use here?
Brussels sprouts. Yuck. And
Yeah, this is really sprouted.
Oh, some hair has sprouted in his ear.
The answer is C. Brussels sprouts are a type of vegetable which look like small cabbages. If children sprout, it means they grow up quickly in a short period of time. If something such as hairs sprout, or if you sprout it, it starts to grow suddenly or quickly.
No. Layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Shrek explains to Donkey that ogres, like onions, have many layers. In this context, the layers represent the many parts that make up a person's life, character, or personality. It is a metaphor for the complexity and depth of Shrek's character. It teaches us not to judge others based on their appearances. What's another similar popular English idiom? Don't judge a dog by its hair. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a movie by its poster. We often use this idiom to say that first appearances can be deceiving. In other words, we should get to know people or experiences before making a judgment.
You know what else everybody like? Parfaits. Have you ever met a person you say, hey, let's get some parfaits? They say, hell no, I don't like no parfaits. Parfaits are delicious.
No.
A parfait is a dessert that consists of layers such as ice cream or yogurt, granola, fruit, and even whipped cream. The word parfait is French in origin and it means perfect.
Let's get some parfaits. They say, hell no, I don't like no parfaits. Parfaits are delicious.
No.
This sentence is not considered grammatically correct in standard English, as the use of the double negative don't like no creates a contradictory meaning. It would be more appropriate to say, no, I don't like parfait, or no, I don't want any parfait. However, in some dialects and regional varieties of English, this type of double negative can be found and is considered acceptable in informal speech. In these dialects, double negatives are used for emphasis or to intensify negation rather than to cancel each other out as they would in standard English. It's important to note that this usage is primarily spoken and may not be considered appropriate in formal writing or formal contexts. Check out this example from The Sopranos.
It's the right thing. It's inevitable.
I don't want no disturbance.
No! You dense, irritating miniature beast of burden! Ogres are like onions. End of story. Bye-bye.
When someone is described as dense, it usually means that they struggle to understand simple concepts or that they are just not intelligent. In case you didn't know, Shrek has a Scottish accent, and this use of dense is more common in British English than American English. For example, Sally felt that John was a really dense individual after hearing him make judgments about nations and cultures he knew little about. Miniature means that something is smaller in size than what it should usually be. For example, my dog is a miniature bull terrier. It's a variation of the standard bull terrier and weighs about half as much. You can often find miniature used to describe dog breeds as well as other animals. A beast of burden is an animal that is used to carry heavy loads or perform difficult tasks, such as pulling and carrying. These animals include donkeys, horses, oxen, and camels. For example, throughout history, humans have relied on horses as beasts of burden for transporting, pulling carriages, and wagons.
I don't get it, Shrek. Why don't you just pull some of that ogre stuff on him? You know, throttle him, lay siege to his fortress, grind his bones to make your bread. You know the whole ogre trip.
Oh, I know what.
Which of these words means the same as throttle? Punch, kick, strangle.
I know what. Maybe I could have decapitated an entire village and put their heads on a pike, gotten a knife, cut open their spleen and drink their fluids. Does that sound good to you?
No, not really, no.
A spleen is a dessert, an organ, a vegetable.
You know what else everybody like? Parfaits. Have you ever met a person you say, hey, let's get some parfaits? They say, hell no, I don't like no parfaits. Parfaits are delicious.
No! You dense, irritating miniature beast of burden! Ogres are like onions. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later.
Which of these words is the opposite of miniature? Giant, tiny, micro. All right, great job making it through the test. You really overcame that challenge. And if you want to keep your challenge of English learning going, then why not learn with this other lesson that we did a while back with Shrek? Let's check it out.
Shrek, please.
I only did that because I love her.
Oh, hi. Daycare or Dragon Guarded Castle?
You wouldn't understand. You're not her father.
It's so nice to have the family together for dinner.
Harold!
Shrek!
Fiona!
Mom! Harold!
Donkey!